Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. You got a question for RealitySpirituality? And trying to get some answers, baby.
Now we getting real.
Trying to get down. You gonna feel good now.
Time to get real and time to start the show. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host. Let me get situated here. Global happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner, oracle, mother, fitness instructor, but most importantly, a student, ongoing student. This class is never ending. Happiness specialist. Who the hell does she think she is? Well, let me just ask you a few questions here to determine whether or not that you're in the right place. Can other people hurt your feelings? Answer yes or no. Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame other people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? There's nothing wrong with accomplishments, titles, wealth, accolades, trophies, awards, social media, likes, or amassing millions of dollars or followers. But it's time to tell the truth. None of those that I just mentioned, none of them without exception equates to happiness. And let me just be very clear. When I say happiness, I'm talking about a personal vibration, a personal energy of contentment that you maintain and you sustain, an energy, a vibration of contentment, of peace. That is what I'm talking about. In fact, I define happiness as the ability to maintain and sustain an energy of peace, regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't feel all these emotions, but feeling the emotions, feeling the feelings have nothing to do with a story attached. That's coming from the mind. I'm feeling this way because I'm sad because the practice is in happiness and contentment and inner peace is a practice skill. And the practice is to detach from all of these programmed stories, detach from identifying with the mind, detach from identifying with the person that, you know, the person with the name and the gender and the culture and the background, the nationality. Practice detaching from that human identity. And that is the practice. Whew, back to the point, which is happiness, contentment, inner peace are all practice skills. But what do you practice? Thanks for asking. You practice being aware of, focusing on, and eliminating the program behaviors. Now, when I say program behaviors, I'm talking about all of the programming that you received, that I received at birth. I didn't mean to yell at you, but at birth, the programming, and I'm up to 58 program behaviors, but not to sell anything. In my latest book, Program for Happiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, it's on Amazon. Program for Happiness, I list 56 program behaviors. That's right, 56. And one of the program behaviors is attaching a story and a reason to why I'm feeling this way. The attachments to a story is all mind. And when I talk about mind, I'm talking about, you know, that voice that never shuts the fuck up. Never shuts up. It is about practicing awareness and practicing separating yourself from that human identity, because you are not You are not your mind. You're not your stories. You're not your thoughts. You're more than that. And that's what today's topic is going to be about. So, question: how important is, when I say happiness, again, I'm talking about an energy, a personal energy. How important, how much do you value, and only you can answer this question, how much do you value this energy of contentment, of happiness? And let me help you with that. Let me help you with that. There's a very famous study. You can Google it. It's called, I mean, I'm getting chills. It's called The 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying. What? Yes, it was done by a hospice nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware, Bronnie Ware. And I always mentioned this at the beginning of the show. And her study, when I say hospice patients, including people that, had days to live, weeks to live, months to live. And she asked them, what are your 5 biggest regrets? Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine you got one foot in the grave and they're asking you, what are your biggest regrets? Well, these 5 regrets kept coming up over and over and over again. And I believe she wrote a book about it. This has to be at least 20 years old. Don't quote me. 15 years, 20 years old, maybe even older than that. But hold on a second. Let me get the list. I have them all. I actually have 2 memorized. Hold on a second. Okay. The 5 most common regrets of the dying. And again, you can Google this. Number 1, I wish I pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. And I'm going to throw in not what the world expects of me. The world has this idea, this fake idea of what success is. And I'm sick of hearing it. Success is ... Success is acquiring money. Success is millions of followers, titles behind your name, traveling, health. Oh, that's another one. Oh, I'm on fire today because one of the global gurus, I'm not going to mention who it is, but global, this guy is known globally. And I just saw this post this morning on Twitter, and it really, really, it really pushes my buttons. Number 1, I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me, not what the world expects of me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. Shout out to all my workaholics. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. Yours truly doesn't have that problem. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I always say that, sometimes, a lot of times, people outgrow someone. It's nothing wrong with them, nothing wrong with you. It's just a different stage. It's a different season. And so we outgrow people, but I'm not going to argue with the person who has one foot in the grave. And the last one is, I wish I had let myself be happier. That's one of the 5 most common regrets of people that know the end, this physical end is near. I wish I would have let myself be happier. And that's where I come in. When I say happiness specialist, it's really about what do you practice. But number one, number 2, number 3, how how often do you hear about valuing, prioritizing, making a commitment to this energy of contentment? And I already gave the definition of happiness. This energy, this vibration, personal vibration of contentment. The world sells dissatisfaction. The world sells, in fact, I'm just going to, I wrote this down. I looked at a post today, and I'm telling you, I'm going to comment on it later on after the show. But this gentleman is world renowned. And the post was 5 elements of a gorgeous life. 5 elements of a gorgeous life. And he proceeded to list 5 elements of a gorgeous life. Now, number one, what the hell does a gorgeous life mean? What kind of judgment is that? Gorgeous life? So when I say the world sells dissatisfaction, it the world sells it, SELLS. It is a pandemic. It is an epidemic. It is beyond. mm, you see it all over the place. Be dissatisfied. Be dissatisfied with yourself. Be dissatisfied with how much you've accomplished. Be dissatisfied with the person in the mirror. Be dissatisfied. And so here we go. The 5 elements of a gorgeous life. And let me see. Let me do a real eye roll here. Eye roll, big eye roll. Number 1, splendid health. Now, splendid health. I've heard health is wealth, but what if you're not healthy? What if you have some type of chronic disease? What if you when not able to be healthy? Then what? Then you're stuck. Then you're stuck not being able to vibrate contentment. Then you're stuck in this not healthy. Health is wealth. That's just another programmed, Lord, a program statement. Health is not wealth. Wealth is the ability to live in the present moment. Wealth is the ability to eliminate program beliefs. So don't tell me if you're not healthy, you can't feel this energy of contentment. I mean, I'm not running around here with 100% health. I've got issues, physical issues, health issues. And I do know, let me just be very clear. I do know that that's very challenging when say I have a physical ailment or in pain. But I always ask the universe. No, the universe asks me. So what if you're stuck with this pain? What if you're stuck with it for the rest of your life? Are you telling me that you can't find any contentment? You can't find any peace? And the answer is no, that's not going to be the truth. I will be able to find contentment even in the middle of medical challenges and or pain, physical pain. But it's a practice. It's not easy. So, the splendid health. Number 2, personal growth. Okay, thank you for that. And that means, what does that mean, personal growth? And how I interpret it is self-awareness, being aware of and being conscious of responding to life as opposed to reacting to life. When you are reacting from a program. There is no freedom, there is no peace, there is no contentment when you're acting from the mind and from a program. And that's why I'm talking about today's show is the space between before the mind kicks in. Personal growth. So I'll check that. Family success. 5 elements of a gorgeous life. Family success. What the does that mean? Family success. What does that mean? You see how the programming is so deep? Listen, I can name Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams, Elvis. The list goes on and on and on. And all were, by the world would say, successful, all found their passion. But finding your passion has nothing to do with inner peace and contentment. Ask those people. Oh, they're not around. Can't ask them. But and I get it. The world says, find your passion and be passionate. But what if you can't? What if you don't? What if you're locked in a jail cell like Nelson Mandela for 26 years? Then what? Are you telling me you can't find inner peace? There's no contentment there? If you're programmed, but I'm here to say that you can grow and get beyond, transcend the programming. And that's what this life is about, transcending the programming, transcending what you were taught. Health is wealth, splendid health, family success. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm gonna post right after this on his post, because that's a bunch of bull crap too. And I have to say, if there's one thing, and I do have buttons, if there's one thing that pushes my buttons and triggers, it's these people with a lot of recognition, a lot of prominence, that are not telling the truth. They're just not. It's just not true. When we giving you an example, when I say 56 program behaviors, one program behavior is worrying. Now, when I ask people, do they worry? Usually 98% say, yeah, I worry. But the key is, listen to this one. The key is when I hear, oh yes, everybody worries, like worrying is normal. No, worrying is just another program. It's just another learned behavior. And then what happens is worrying becomes an addiction. And then the false belief that worrying means that you care about someone. That's not the truth. Worrying just means that you know how to worry. Worrying just means that you're programmed. So let's get back to this 5 elements of a gorgeous life: family success. What the hell does that mean? What does that look like? If you're not able to practice living in the present moment, what kind of success is that? Success, I define success as the ability to live in the present moment, the ability to know the truth between mind, the person, this human, and presence, which is the true identity. The fourth element of a gorgeous life: meaningful labor. What does that mean? Maybe it just means sharing. Meaningful labor. Okay, I'll give them that. Sharing your gifts. But when I say sharing, when I'm talking about sharing, can we please start sharing the truth as opposed to this illusion, this idea of the truth? Meaningful labor. And number 5, wonderful recreation. Well, again, what if you're not able to go out and have recreation? What if you're not able to? Then what? You're stuck. So, in the other hint is make your rise. When are we, be better, improve, rise, next level up? When are you ever going to get to a place where you're good? When are you ever going to get to a place of satisfaction? And in any moment, you are either vibrating a sense of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Satisfaction or dissatisfaction. And I'm not here saying that, oh, I'll just sit here and I'm okay. I don't need to do anything. Act on inspired inspiration, of course, but always practice vibrating a sense of satisfaction in the present moment. This idea, this programmed idea of more, and I need more. Oh, when I get there, when I reach this goal, you follow the programming. There's always something. It's never about the present moment being satisfied, living that in that moment. It's always about the future, more and more. And when I get there, yeah, then I'll be happy. And I'm here to tell you to claim your contentment, claim your happiness, claim your inner peace right now, without any manifestations, without any other accomplishment. Claim it now. I guarantee if you are dissatisfied, boy, I sure am talking fast. If you are dissatisfied in the present moment, I promise you, you will be dissatisfied in the future moment. And then, you get the program responsive. I get the program responsive. Well, you got to always keep working and keep moving and keep going. And Didn't I read that? Didn't I read this? The 5 most common regrets of the dying? I wish I didn't work so hard. That's number 2. I'm not telling you to work hard, but if you not work hard, but if you cannot let go and be at peace with doing absolutely nothing, staring at the wall, absolutely nothing, being at peace with doing nothing without all of these judgments and all of these stories, I'm not doing enough. There is no peace in that. I'm not here to save the world. I'm not here to inspire the world. I'm here to share with as are moved to listen what I've learned. The truth about happiness has nothing to do with accomplishments, has nothing to do with achievements, has nothing to do with titles, has nothing to do with the relationship other than that relationship with yourself and God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. That's it. And so what I share here is to have your foundation as contentment, your foundation rooted in peace, foundation in being aware. Being aware. Now, today's topic, I didn't even get to today's topic. Today's topic was inspired by one of my favorite teachers. And if you never heard of Moji, it's Mooji. He's got a YouTube channel. I highly recommend listening. And he's on another level. And in fact, he's done a lot of talks and a lot of teachings for over decades. And he used to have people, come up and ask questions, and they would ask their individual questions about what was going on in their life, what was personal to them. And then he got to a point, I don't know how many years ago, because I just found him last year, and he got to a point where he says, listen, I will not start with your problem. I will start with you. And in fact, if you're listening, there is it's a really good talk. You write this down. It's called hold on. It's called on YouTube. It's called Must Watch Satsang. Must Watch Satsang. Satsang. I will not start with your problem. I will start with you. You want to you want to level up, get to another level, transcending the ego, transcending this mind. Must watch Satsang. I will not start with your problem. I will start with you. And start watching it around 28 minutes. 28 minutes, it's a lot of stuff going on, but start watching it 28 minutes. I mean, it is life-changing. And while I'm giving a recommendation, there is another YouTube channel that I highly recommend, other than mine, is it's called Solace Fox, SOLACE Fox. And there are plenty of videos, usually 15 to 17 minutes. I highly recommend that channel also. Okay, back to the topic. The topic of today is the space before the mind kicks in. I believe that's the topic. The space before the mind kicks in. And it goes, I always am inspired. I usually, the morning of the show, I get inspired as to what I want to talk about. And usually it's about what I've been practicing. And one of the things that I've been practicing is really noticing how long and how long am I able to be in the moment, to be present. And when I say to be present, I mean to be in the present moment without any words, thoughts, stories coming in. And it's not a long time, but when I say happiness and contentment is a practice skill, that's the main practice these days. That is it. My mind is like your mind. Wake up, it is just constant. There are constant stories. It's just like a radio with 100 different stations that just come in. And the first practice is not to identify with what's going on in here. The mind needs me to need, when I say me, the mind needs Rebecca. Oh, God. Oh, I was wondering what happened. I kind of went out in a minute. I wonder if anyone can hear. Okay. Okay, it still says live. Yeah, it just went blank for a second. Anyway, the mind needs Rebecca to identify with it. The mind needs Rebecca for her voice. The mind needs Rebecca to listen, to react. The only reason why Rebecca is triggered or Rebecca has her buttons pushed is because of a programmed what is because of a programmed thought or a programmed belief, and it always has to do with the past. It is always about yesterday, programs and triggered, including I'm even talking about here. You want to really get into it. When I said Rebecca was triggered by this global guru, 5 elements of a gorgeous life. Well, that's Rebecca's trigger. That's Rebecca being bothered. And if Rebecca really scratch that, if who I if not scratch that, if the identity when I identify with my higher self presence, awareness, consciousness, when I identify with that, this 5 elements of a gorgeous life isn't even an issue. The sun shines on the serial killer and the Pope. The universe allows everything to unfold the way it is meant to. There are no mistakes. Everything, there is a purpose for all of this. Even though this little mind that is very limited is not able to look beyond and find peace. It's impossible to find peace with this mind. The mind feeds on discontentment. The mind is fueled by what's wrong, by finding and focusing on what's wrong. And in fact, I was talking to my son the other day. We've done 70 shows. It's on my YouTube channel, Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense. And the last 2 shows were zingers. The last 2 shows were a lot of drama, a lot of personal things going on. And so, but the focus is on those last 2 shows that we would say was a lot of conflict. But why does the mind want to focus on what's wrong? And why does the mind want to focus on 2 shows, which quite frankly, great content, but it was just talking about the back and forth. You know, when you have an issue with your loved one, the back and forth. The mind needs, drinks, eats, bleeds, lives off of conflict. Now, what is the practice? The practice is to be aware, stay aware, conscious awareness of when the mind takes over, because the mind is going to take over. That's all it does. That's all it knows that's all it knows what to do. It is insatiable. But there is a space before the mind takes over that when you practice being aware of that time and that space, when you practice presence, when you practice presence before the mind kicks in, and the mind kicks in quickly. You can't blink. You have to be, oh, there's a mind, there's a mind, oh, there's a mind. And it is loud, and it needs attention, and it needs focus, it needs power. But at this age, at 69, did I say that out loud? At 69 years old, I refuse to give it the power that it's had most of its life. And it is separating. It is consciously separating who is the I. When you say I, and I feel this or I think this, who is that I? What entity are you talking about? Is it usually the ego, the mind? It's a personal. It is a personal I. It is a personal identity. And I'm here to tell you that the practice right now is to this human, later alligator, this person, this Rebecca, including the body. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my consciousness is there to inhabit the body. But the less I practice identifying with the mind and the ego and the person, and the more I practice being aware of the space that happens before the mind kicks in, the more peace, the more contentment, the more freedom, the more ease, the more relaxed. You either go through life like this or shoulders down. And it seems, it's hard to explain, but it feels like everything starts to slow down. When you practice living in the present moment, and you practice trusting that everything is unfolding the way that it is supposed to unfold. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes out in nature. There are no mistakes ever made. That's a program belief. Oh, there's a mistake. Well, I was listening to another video on Instagram. Oh, I made a mistake and failure. There's no such thing. It's just a program belief, failure, mistake. There are no mistakes. Well, you know what I'm talking about. There is a mistake if I choose chocolate ice cream and I really meant vanilla. No, there's no mistakes. Practice. Let me just get my notes. Okay, presence is found the space before the mind takes over. Presence is found in the space before the mind takes over. And again, it's like that. But the more you practice, number one, being aware of it, the more you practice living in it, even if it's just 5 seconds, the easier it's going to get. Mind versus presence. Peace is naturally who you are. You are peace. You are presence. You're not what's going on inside of here. Notice the peace before the mind kicks in. You are not the person. So the mind can take over and hold me captive, and I'm daydreaming. That's just the mind taking over. It's just the mind holding or taking me to a space where life, quite frankly, isn't existing. That's something else. Life is found in the present moment. Can you imagine how much peace you'll be able to experience living in the present moment? So don't give me this 5 elements of a gorgeous life. Splendid health, personal growth, family success, meaningful labor, wonderful recreation. No, and all of this is well, not all of it. Number 2, personal growth. All of this is external. There peace is found within, internal. Question: can other people hurt your feelings? Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame other people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? There's nothing wrong with accomplishments, titles, wealth, accolades, fame, trophies, awards, social media likes, amassing millions of followers. But if your happiness and your contentment is attached to likes or money or finding a soulmate or your weight or your titles or your listen, Tom Brady is dissatisfied with 7 Super Bowls. Michael Jordan is dissatisfied with 6 NBA championships. And don't tell me that's normal. Well, that's normal, always just more. Is there a place? Is there a time? Is there a time? Is there a place where just being is enough? Life is an experience without judgment. Life is an experience without the programming. But 98% of the population, 98%, probably 99%, are programmed. Did I say robots? I'm not going to say robots. Programmed people that are just stuck in here, thinking that all of it's in here. But I'm telling you, talk about limitations. I'm telling you that this in here, number 1, cannot be trusted. Number 2 is not the truth. Number 3 is not who you are. You are not this. Your conscious energy, universal energy, having a physical human experience. And in fact, now I'm going to really, now I'm going to really get hate mail. Put your seatbelts on for this one. All of this shit, life is meaningless. Did she say that out loud? Life is meaningless until the mind, the ego, puts a meaning on it. And where does the meaning come from? Where does the programmed meaning come from? One of the things that Moji was talking about, and again, watch him on YouTube, Mooji. He was talking about the mind and how there is no such thing as suffering. I know it's a difficult concept. It's a difficult concept for the mind to get. But there is no such thing as suffering. But there is experiencing suffering. You are experiencing, you put a judgment, you put a label. Yeah, this is what suffering feels like. Who says? And the other thing he said, which hit me right between the eyeballs, is there's the same with enjoying something that the mind says this is enjoyable. I know this is, once you take that pill, once you take that blue pill, was it the blue pill or the red pill, whatever pill that opens your eyes, once you take that pill, it's no going back. But I'm here to share that this practice of the truth about happiness, the truth about contentment, all of it is a practice. And letting go of what the world says and what the world deems as success. And I will be damned if I allow someone else to tell me, scratch that, to tell me, this is what success looks like. And I contend those, the Michael Jackson, even Will Smith. Shout out to Will Smith. He was interviewed in GQ magazine, November 2021, before the infamous slap heard around the world. And he says, I have everything. You can look it up. I have everything: money, fame, global recognition. At the time, he said loving family, but I'm not happy. And that's all I'm talking about. That's the point. But the world doesn't value, most of the world doesn't value that contentment. And there's a lot of searching going on. And I'm here to say that the answer is simple, but it's not what the world says. It's not what the world deems successful. Come on. There are so many people that have billions and billions and billions. Not yet. Billions of dollars with absolutely zero contentment. You know that, and I know that. And that's today's show. So getting back, just leaving you with this. The practice is to every day, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds, practice being aware and living in that presence before the mind logs in. The mind's going to log in. It's going to do what it does. It's going to do what it do. But the practice is to transcend and witness and observe the mind without getting caught up in its shenanigans. It's not there you're not going to find peace through the mind. Oh, and by the way, there's no healing necessary. There's no healing necessary, no healing needed. It's just an awareness. Just an awareness and a practice. Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, international bestseller, Amazon bestseller. In this book, I list 56 program behaviors, and I also list 26 behaviors that add to your happiness, but 56 program behaviors that subtract from your happiness and from your peace and your contentment. And again, happiness defined is the ability to maintain and sustain an energy of contentment, regardless of what happens. And it is a practice. And know that your journey, whatever it looks like, whatever it feels like, there's nothing you need to change, nothing you need to shift, nothing you need to alter, nothing you need to heal from. You're not sabotaging anything. God cannot be sabotaged. It's just an awareness of what is the truth. But the program says to be dissatisfied. The programming says to want more. The programming says to wait until this happens and then. Come on now. Ooh, that's a lot. Well, that's the end of today's show. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, the chat is open on YouTube. But other than that, that's the end of today's show. Thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington, LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. Like and subscribe. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. RebeccaNorrington.com. The YouTube channel is growing. Yeah, there's been a lot of traction. Yeah, come on. I've been working on the YouTube channel for years, but everything happens when it's time. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, was published in 2014, but my latest book, Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, is on Amazon right now. Thank you. And again, it is, I believe it's an easy read. You can read it in a day. I write like a fifth grader. And it's just about sharing the truth about happiness. And until next week, I want you to know that you are conscious energy having a human experience. This judgment of good, bad, a good day, bad day. There is no such thing as a good day or a bad day. It's just a day without judgment. But the programming is, this was a good day. This was a bad day. It's just a day without judgment. Can you imagine? And labeling. One of the things I talk about is labeling anything. It just is. And when you really start honing in and tuning in to the labels and the judgments that are all programmed in, just noticing them, peace is right around the corner. Your conscious energy having a human experience, always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself by accepting every moment. Every moment has a purpose. Let go. Practice eliminating the power that mind has. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. That's from Abraham Hicks. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner, oracle, student, fitness instructor, mother. Remember, happiness is a practice skill. And I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace and the more contentment you will find, you will experience. Every moment reflects on what you practice. Thank you for listening. Have a conscious week. Queuing up the theme song. Queuing up the theme song. Action.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality, spirituality. You got a question for RLM? Reality, spirituality. It's time to get some answers, baby. Reality, spirituality.
Oh, now we get real.
It's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. But I'm time to get real.
Click here. Click there. Conscious week.